What's up, YeshGaming? Robert the Bruce here. Really excited about this video today. It's titled Two-Man Rush Victory, and it was myself and mariocarrion from BanditoGaming. We're playing some Rush, just the two of us and a bunch of randoms, and our team, for the life of us, would not listen or work together or really do much of anything. The two of us, single-handedly got every single MCOM except for one. And it wasn't because we were rushing faster than the other guys or something. We literally had to do just about everything ourselves. They started off early and got Bravo out of the way almost at the very beginning of the match. And then I don't know if they all decided to start sniping or they fell asleep or what, but everybody just pretty much quit helping at that point. So we were working together, communicating, as always, doing our thing, and took a rib boat around because the enemy had the beach locked down pretty well. This is a great strategy if you're having trouble getting in on the attacking side here on Kharg Island Rush. Take a rib boat over there, especially this is a map where if a spawn beacon goes down outside, it will parachute in if you spawn in off of it. And so you throw one of those back down around those rocks or the beach or something way back there, you can parachute in and guys just usually don't expect to parachute. It's a great way to get into a bomb site if you're having trouble getting in close. So we came in from over here. You'll notice that Mario and I move separately. We're not just sticking right on top of each other, both like trying to fight to get the MCOM points and run together. He takes another route. We're communicating about where we see bad guys, but we're not just, you know, fighting over the same kill constantly. We're helping each other, but we're staying spread out. We don't want to both go down in a hail of gunfire from one guy or one grenade or something silly. So I think that's very important. Very often, as soon as a guy shows up as a blip on the radar, you'll see every single friendly in that area just swarm them. And that's just not a good distribution of your resources. So now this one we struggled with. We had several different attacks you'll see here where we failed trying to get in this second set of MCOMs. We're taking tanks up, parachuting in. We tried all different types of strategies, and these guys really had a lockdown here. And this is where I thought we were going to lose the match, honestly, because we just could not get help for the life of us trying to get in on these MCOMs. No one on our team would show up and help us. So this first attack, we're moving in, picking off some bad guys. We're both still alive. Hey, this is pretty awesome. You know, we're doing pretty well. But when we get pushed back, we die when we tried to go arm it. We'd work our way up again, you know, put down our spawn beacons, kill a few bad guys. But at the end of the day, 2 guys versus, you know, 12 versus a whole team, you just, you know, it's pretty tough. And if they're all there circling the MCOM together, you know, it's really hard for just those 2 guys to fight their way through. And that's where we thought, man, we're not going to be able to make it. So you see there, Mario parachuted in off my spawn beacon, landed on a roof. He's kind of undetected at this point, so I spawn in on top of him. And this actually allowed us to get Bravo out of the way pretty quickly on this set. So I armed B. He's running through the building, kind of staying out of the way, staying hidden. He did go ahead and arm A. We kind of went for the glory here, and we're like, hey, let's see if we can get both of them and just, you know, be done with it. But I went down in this little firefight with that guy. So Mario wisely retreats back to the building and just kind of watches Bravo and keeps it going to at least get that one out of the way. So we got Bravo done, spawning back in. I try and get on Mario as quick as I can to hold A, but they get the disarm after they kill both of us here because we just, again, got overwhelmed. And at this point, I'm like, man, we've had like 20 seconds or so of both of these being armed, yelling for our teammates. No one ever showed up. The blueberries on our team were off doing who knows what. Flying around, being worthless, not actually even helping on the bomb site, kill anybody. So we were getting pretty frustrated, but we're like, okay, you know, we've made it this far. We picked off one of the MCOMs. We can get another one. But yet again, working our way in, we just really were having a tough time getting the area locked down. Picking off every little corner, getting in to where we could arm the MCOM. So then I tried I see Mario's up there with the tank, so here I thought, oh, you know, I'll parachute in, I'll land right on the MCOM, immediately arm it. He's got that tank, he can really kind of hold him down. But again, he's got a whole team blasting him in the tank. There's only so much that one guy can do. So unfortunately, it's too late at that point. By the time I land and arm it, he's just been killed, and I don't stand a chance there. So Like I said, we were kind of starting to lose hope, getting pretty frustrated with our teammates. But we don't like to give up. We're not going to rage quit just because we start feeling like we're going to lose or something. That's pretty lame. So we keep on trying, and eventually we slow it down a little bit. We're kind of taking our time, picking guys off as we move in, and we said, you know what, let's try the tank strategy again. Even if it's hard to stay alive with the tank with so many guys, it is a big distraction. It's easier to keep them all occupied for a while. So Mario moves in the tank. We managed to push him back for a minute. We kind of catch a dead spot for a split second. He gets the arm, hops back in his tank. I get in the building again because I saw earlier that's where Mario was, and it's a pretty good spot to kind of stay out of the way. And then when I see somebody approaching the bomb site, I can hop out and kill him real quick and then get back in cover. And miraculously, we were able to pull this one out. We both kind of got a big boost at this point. We're like, hey, we can do this. You know, it was just the two of us on that last one, pretty much against their whole team. We managed to pull this off, so we can make this happen. Let's buckle down and push forward. And I think that was a big moral loss for the other team. That didn't really come out right. What I'm trying to say is that discouraged the other team. When we pushed through that one, they kind of started getting sporadic in their setups. A few of them were still sticking on bomb sites, but they weren't really working together as well anymore. Our team was still being worthless, but Mario and we kept pushing up. We kept doing our strategy. We parachuted in on the top of that building and then put a spawn beacon down up there. Now you'll notice I put that spawn beacon down on purpose underneath that little awning. So even though technically the building wasn't totally enclosed, there was a ceiling directly above it. Now, if there's a ceiling directly above it, you won't parachute in. And I did that on purpose because I wanted to be able to spawn in directly above that MCOM and just move right down on it. I don't want to have to wait and try to aim my parachute down and float all the way in and waste time doing that. So keep that in mind when you're putting your spawn beacons down on a map that parachutes in. If it's in a building or even just a cover over it like it is here, you'll start off right on it. And also there you'll see that even though we had it armed and Mario was down there, I was not. I was upstairs, because if I'm down there with him and we get overwhelmed and killed, that's it. Our teammate are not helping. We knew that. It was up to us. So I waited upstairs until Mario either held it on his own or was killed. Now at that point the enemy thinks, oh, we're golden, we got everybody, let's disarm, just like they did. And I'm able to come down as a last resort and surprise them and push them back and hold it off again. So you also notice here I spawn in and move my spawn beacon outdoors where there's no covering, because if we need to spawn in again on it at this point, I want to parachute. I want to be able to parachute down over here onto Alpha and have a nice angle of attack over here on it. So keep that in mind where you're putting your spawn beacon down. Don't just throw it down randomly without thinking about what you're doing. Really put some time and thought into it. Also, the angle you are facing when you place it, that's the angle you're facing when you come in. So don't just throw it down at some random angle, because then when your teammates are spawning in on it, it takes them a second to get their bearings and they lose valuable elevation and time as they're trying to figure out where they need to turn around and aim. So if you're wanting to parachute in on top of a building, aim it at that building and make sure there's no covering. So it's not that difficult, but I say it because so many times I spawn in on a spawn beacon and I'm like parachuting out facing in some water or something. I'm like, what in the world am I doing over here? And I have to angle it around, and it's frustrating. So this last set, we had him really frustrated. If you just saw what Mario just did, rewind a second if you didn't see it up in his corner. It was brilliant. He threw C4 on the outside of Bravo, on the building outside of it, but then ran around to the inside. And then as he's approaching, he detonates that C4. So there was no enemies in there because they were just pushed back at this point, and we were just overwhelming them, the two of us. But if there's guys in there, they're going to look at that wall when he detonates it, and then he comes blasting in through the side door. It's an awesome little strategy there. But this last set, like I said, wasn't that difficult for us. We pushed up quick when we took out the last set and made this one happen very, very quickly. And they just didn't have time to get set up, so we were able to pretty much on our first pass in rock out those last two MCOMs and get the victory. So that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Mario Carrion's channel, the guy I was running with there, BanditoGaming here on YouTube. If you haven't yet, check it out. He has some awesome Battlefield guides up, makes some great content, and he's just a cool guy. You knew I was going to say it, so here it is. Don't forget, only rookies camp the enemy spawn.